to the Crust Corner.
My man, what is up?
What's up, buddy? How you doing, man?
Good,
man. Can't complain. You know, another week has gone by. Another 2 since we've been here on the Crush Corner.
That's true.
But yeah, man, all is okay. We had our first real big snowstorm at the beginning of the week, which kind of sucked. But you know,
yeah,
this is what it is.
Got a little snow, I think, headed for tomorrow too, right?
We do, man. Yeah, maybe 4 to 8 inches. So hopefully it's not too bad. But yeah, man, all is well. You got the dew going again, huh? You got the little hockey happening.
Yeah, something's happening there. I'm not sure. I got some weird tail going on here too. It's like,
ooh, gotta braid that puppy.
maybe. I was how's my mic? Okay, I was like fucking around with stuff, and I was unplugging shit, and
no, you're good, man. You're good. How's mine? Am I all right?
Perfect. Yeah, I had all this musical shit going on before, so I was like, I had it all set up. I had to unplug it and then replug it back into my computer and shit. So.
You're a busy dude, man. You're making some cool sounds coming out of those drums, my brother.
I'm trying. Thank you, man. I appreciate that, Corey.
man, it's good.
Another week flown by. As always, I like to give credit to the last song of our little intro there to Spaz Band. So I still try to stay in touch with Chris Dodge on the West Coast, occasionally talk beer and give them a quick hello. So it's always nice to stay in touch with our West Coast homies.
Oh yeah, and you can't get enough of that Trappist music. That's for sure.
Absolutely, man. It's so good. I mean, you need something to get you going in the morning. You get the day started. I'll throw that in my CD player and just crank it.
Oh yeah, dude, it's excellent. Excellent day.
It's excellent.
Christine wants to know where the mud wrestling pit is.
The mud. Oh. Yeah, speaking of that, Chris.
Yeah, right.
I don't know where the mud wrestling pit. Well, I don't know. We need some spring weather. Maybe when the snow melts, we'll get the mud wrestling going on.
Right, or was that supposed to be in the box?
Yeah. Well, okay.
Along with this very cool pin that I've got on my shirt that she sent.
Oh, nice. Fuck cancer pin. Excellent.
Yeah, man. Right on the skull, baby.
Yeah, thank you so much, Christine, for the presents. They're very heartfelt. They're very thoughtful, and they're actually just in time for Valentine's Day. So
look at that.
Yeah, we didn't even have to play anything out. Christine got our Valentine weekend planned out.
It's a mic drop moment right there.
Boop. I feel fortunate we have some friends that have been watching us regularly and supporting Crush Kill Destroy. And now Christine she stepped it up and she sent us some gifts, so we could showcase the most important one in the secret box that came. This is our
yes,
little peep and her sheep.
Little peep and her sheep.
A gift to myself and Corey.
Yep.
Host and co-host. So the only thing is we have to decide who's getting what.
Right. We're still debating how this is going to go. We'll let you know, but yeah, we'll get there. We'll figure it out.
I think these are supposed to be included in the mud wrestling or something like that.
Right. So. Got it. Yeah. But thank you again, Christine, for the care package. It was really nice of you.
Definitely
much appreciated.
So yeah, I always like to remind people about the Crush Corner T-shirt that we have up now on ckdclothing.com.
Yeah, man.
Still available. They probably will be indefinitely because I'll change up the guest names on the back as we go on, further with the shows and stuff.
Season 2, baby, full effect.
Season 2, full effect. This is This is episode number 22, right?
Yep, 22. Awesome. Yeah, good stuff, bro.
Yeah,
moving right along.
And I definitely have to do a reminder about the T-shirt contest going on. So we talked about it 2 weeks ago. And then I know things are crazy. People are busy or on to other projects or doing stuff. So the submissions were a little low, but I know myself being an artist too. Sometimes when your back's against the wall and you have a deadline, you kind of wait last minute. So, but I felt like, there's no need to rush anything. So we extended it a little bit. So
yeah, man,
it'd be actually a week from today. I think we'll call it. I did start and getting more submissions, and I'll probably do a couple of sneak peek posts on the social media. So
excellent.
And then what I'll do, I don't even know if I made it clear, was I'll get them when I get all the designs. There'll be a poll linked to the ckdclothing.com website that people can jump on and just vote, see the photo of the design, vote for it, and then it'll tally it up, so I can just sit back and watch the percentages go up or whatever.
Perfect.
You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. That's good stuff. Can't wait. Can't wait. Can't wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Man. A couple of the shout outs, man. So our buddy Daryl, one of our buddies, been dealing with some health issues. So we just want to send a shout out to Daryl and wish him the best in healthy recovery. Also, my father, who has been also dealing with some stuff.
For sure.
He and my mother, I believe, are tuning in tonight. So Mom and Dad, cheers. Love you. Appreciate you guys tuning in. And Dad, get well. Yep. And lastly, since we already mentioned Christine, the care package, but I guess it wouldn't be fair if we didn't mention that it's Bob Marley's birthday.
No shit.
He would have been 76 years old today.
Wow. No shit, man.
Yeah. So there you go.
No woman, no cry, man.
Yeah, that's it, man.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's great. I mean, I always say, Corey, we're fortunate to at least have this technology to utilize to connect with each other, because we know firsthand how real this pandemic stuff is that we're dealing with. Some of our close friends have gotten sick and they've battled it on different levels, and people that we know personally may be sick for a week and they're over it. Mike, our good friend Mike, was going pretty rough for a while there.
Oh God, yeah.
Well over 2 weeks, lost a bunch of weight, ended up in the ER.
Yep.
Got through it, and thankfully didn't get to the place of any real problem with his breathing and oxygen, stuff like that. And of course, Daryl ended up in the hospital for I think a couple weeks now. So
yeah,
it's crazy. It is crazy, real shit. So,
and we'll come here. We'll kind of manifest as many positive vibes for all our good friends out there as much as we possibly can. So all the best to everybody.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. So here we are, the Crush Corner, episode 22. So I have we have Chris Galley is going to chat with us tonight about art and stuff, and I saw a post that he made about talking about Boston Terrier farts. So we're going to
interesting,
spend a decent amount of time on Boston Terrier farts, as you know.
God, I don't even know if we have enough time to cover all of the material associated with that.
But I have and I'll ask Chris too. The real connection is, I believe, of course, now with social media and being linked to motorcycling and art.
Mm-hmm.
And, I think that was like my really first way of kind of discovering him. I know that, and I'll ask him too, that Tracy was on one of the organized rides out here, the Babes Ride Out, and I think that Chris and his wife may have been at one of those, and she kind of chatted with him, and then I think I started following his art, which I actually have. I actually have a board from Chris, which I was so into his designs and stuff when I started seeing things, I had to own something.
Dude, that's sweet. Look at that. I love that.
Oh yeah,
I may have to steal that from your house. Did I say that out loud?
So without further ado, I think we should have Chris come on and chat with us.
Let's do it.
Hey, man.
Hey,
guys. How are you doing?
Cheers, man.
Hey.
Sure. How's
I'm early riser, so I'm going a little coffee here to start.
Hey, that's fine. Yeah. No worries.
Do you have is it? Did you say it's early?
I'm usually up for work early, so this is stretching the bedtime.
You're gonna you're screwed. We're gonna push it. We're gonna push it. You're so late.
Yeah, you may need 2 cups.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So Chris, like I was saying, I wasn't even really sure how we were kind of connected aside from social media, Instagram now, but I was mentioning I believe that my wife Tracy met you guys. I don't know if were you guys at a one of the motorcycle meets in, was it New York or Nuremberg?
Yeah, I think it was actually Babes. My wife Jo was the merch manager for the East Coast Babes ride. And Tracy was there working, and I know she saw her work online and kind of made a connection. And then I think maybe second or third year, me and another buddy timed a ride with that. So we brought down some accommodations for the ladies, and then took off, and then ended up on the last day coming back to help them pack up. And
nice, that's awesome.
That's where I met Tracy.
And
Cool.
you guys, and you had you had a booth. Was there the booth set up, merch booth with your artwork and stuff?
Not my stuff. It was just for Babes Ride Out. But I think every year they've done an East Coast event. I've either donated a helmet, custom helmet, or a gas tank.
Sweet.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
And you got, and have you done any of the other East Coast runs? Because I don't know. Have you done the Gypsy Run before? Because I feel like we would have crossed paths, or maybe we did.
I think, yeah. I think you were at the last one. You were booked solid, so I think I just gave you like a quick wave.
Well, shoot, those guys were. Tracy was tattooing, and I think we had two other from my shop.
Okay.
Because I usually don't tattoo because I don't want to miss out on the fun. So
all right,
I'm like
whole shots in the parking lot.
Yeah,
I drive up next to them on the bike with like a hot dog in my mouth. I'm like, hey, how's it going over? Oh, wow. Yeah. Like, these guys are tattooing for 24 hours straight, and they're just like, oh man.
Yeah, they were working hard. I think last year I set up a booth outside of the big spot.
Yeah.
And it was definitely more work. So
it is. It's crazy. It's crazy. So you're in Buffalo, right?
Buffalo.
Which I discovered. You guys have a couple of nicknames for the city of Buffalo, which I wasn't aware of. The Nichols, the Nichols thing, right? The Good Neighbors, is that the Buffalo thing? The Good Neighbors?
City of Good Neighbors, Nickel City, Queen City. Yeah. It gets a few of them, but it actually is. It's for all the traveling we've been able to do. I grew up in this area, moved around a lot, kind of left this area, ended up coming back. And the more I've been around, man, I have an appreciation for this area. Even the cold winters and snow, the people are awesome. Whenever we travel around the United States, I take on the job of being the Buffalo ambassador, and try to get people here. And what I tell people, come to Buffalo in the summertime, because it's usually about 3 months. So people are out every night. There's always tons to do. It's a blast.
Yeah, back in 1989, I was up there, Rich Stadium, to see the Grateful Dead.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, it was July 3rd or 4th. It was early. It was definitely summertime. It was awesome. We ended up going up to Niagara Falls and just, meeting a couple of buddies. It was a fun time.
Nice.
Yeah, good town.
I actually have a story about that show.
Do you?
Yeah. Well, in a kind of related way. I used to work at a restaurant. It was a country club, actually. So I worked back in the kitchen. I was a long-haired, greasy kid. I actually walked through the dining room one time, and the members complained that they didn't want to have to look at me while they ate their dinner.
Oh, wow.
Well, that tells you what type of people they were. So the weekend after the Sunday after the Dead show, our assistant chef had spent like 5 days out there and came right from the parking lot to work.
Wow.
And worked a full shift. It was just him and I left, and a waitress, and we were done. And one of the members walked in and said, I see the lights on in the kitchen. Just have him cook me a burger. So cook the burger. I get the bun and the lettuce and all that ready. And right before it's going to go out, the assistant chef, who'd been in a parking lot for 5 days, grabs the bun and was like, fuck this guy. And
come on.
Over and sent it out. And I just watched in the window. And I was like,
oh, wow.
Rubbed it on his underarms.
Oh yeah.
Classic.
So
I was thinking you were going to say like the classic spit on the burger, which is really terrible. But
take it up a notch around here.
That's a notch or two higher, I would say. Yeah.
They've maybe like put some shrooms on the burger or something left over from the show, or like.
Well, I wasn't going to waste the good stuff on this guy.
Scott, Kathy, Dave, Jeff, hello, welcome.
Awesome. So how long you been doing art? Forever? Is it the kind of thing that you, as a kid, you just gravitated towards? You're talking, like, I know myself, it was really embraced when I was, well, my folks were really good about nurturing it, right from crayon. So what about yourself? Was it early on in life?
Yeah. When I was a kid, we moved around a lot. So it was kind of that way. I had an affinity and a little bit of talent for it. That I could, kind of make friends with other kids. So it was a good kind of introduction. But it was that thing of being a little kid and just getting that encouragement from it, and kind of pin it back to a certain day. We had my Aunt Mary used to rent a cottage out on the lake in the summertime, and we'd always go down for a few days. So all the adults would come down and want to party, and I was that annoying little kid that was around. So they gave me a pad of paper and a box of crayons, and I just sat on the porch and drew while they were all doing their thing. And I remember my Aunt Mary came out and was really complimentary about what I drew and put it up on the wall, and she challenged me to see how much I could fill before I had to leave.
Wow.
Sunday night. And since then I was hooked.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Great.
It's good that you can actually have that that memory, and that it stuck for you, and now where you're at, and go back and pinpoint that moment in time almost. That's pretty awesome.
We owe Aunt Mary some gratitude.
Yeah, she was an awesome lady.
Right. She put the magic wand right in your hand, and then before you knew it, boom.
Yeah.
What about your folks? Were your folks artists at all, or creative? Like, did they?
No, not really. I guess creative in a different way. They're not artists. My dad's a mechanic. He's a whiz, man. He can fix anything. And God love him. He tried to teach me all that stuff when I was growing up, and it just kind of went in one ear and out the other. I wish I would have listened a lot more then.
I'm with you.
Grab everything I can now. And my mom was creative, but never really pursued it. So
I wish I feel the same way. Like especially the mechanical stuff. It's like now I kind of kick myself for not paying attention more, or really delving into, especially motorcycle maintenance and mechanical stuff like that. There's a certain level that I get to that it actually frightens me. If I see a motor taken apart in tons of pieces, I just get anxiety, because I want, my desire to ride it and enjoy it is more than my desire to work on it and fix it.
There you go.
And there's so many people that come up with that in their life, that they just eat, breathe, and think mechanically fixing motorcycles. I'm like, that's all you, and I respect it. Please fix my bike so I can ride.
Yeah, it's always that. It comes down to time. I've grown an affinity for working on bikes and trying to do things with it, but
look at you, Christine.
Riding season here is short, so hopefully I've got friends that can always get things back on the road.
That's awesome.
Like, when you get into like August, September, is it you're starting to think about like the bikes are going to be put away, or what? Is it really stunted that by then, like September, or are you trying to push it into November, or what?
We're usually pretty good into December, early December. And actually, it was just last year we gave up. My wife and I had a 3-year period of riding at least once a month for 3 years straight.
Yeah.
It was usually that, you could find a day in December or January or February. And it, like you said about anxiety, it got to be that point of like, we'd run it 3 years and you'd start to get nervous of like, oh, wait, I got to find a day. I got to keep it going. I got to keep the streak going.
Yeah.
Just finally walked away from it. And now, like December, I'm starting to miss it. Or, February now.
Yeah, exactly.
Already.
I had I had a streak going, actually. Way back, I had this crazy idea that I was going to ride the motorcycle for a year straight, and I think I started in the fall, and it was this idea. It was called the 365 ride. It was like some weird thing. I was going through a divorce, and I was like, I need to do this, and I committed to this thing, and it was like a matter of just physically getting on the bike, even if it was like up the street. If there was a snowstorm, I would manage to get up the street around the block and put it away. But every day was my goal was to do it. So I had some good rides, and it was this. It turned into something else because a couple weeks into it, maybe not even 2 months, I crashed and I lopped off the top of my pointer finger.
Oh.
And I got banked up pretty good, and I actually didn't tattoo for a couple of months.
Yeah, but we gotta elaborate on that just a little more. So not only did the finger get lopped off, right?
Yes.
He put it back on, and then put the glove on, and drove to the hospital. Let's be clear.
So I used
the situation.
I used the coagulation to reconnect the finger. So it actually functions. It looks a little funny, but it functions. So.
Wow.
That was my everyday. I was trying to do it every day, and whatever that happened. So, it's I have to admit there's some terms in art and certain things, and I never had any real formal training or anything as an artist, but there's a lot of terms will come up if I'm in a group of artists or people that may have had some formal training or something. And there's terms that I'm just like, I don't know what that is. So, and it's kind of funny. And I know now, visual artist, is that what you consider yourself?
It is. I did go through the I guess the traditional art school route, and had experience, luckily, to be able to work with some pretty skilled performers and musicians, and as I get older, I kind of see all of that creativity is really the same thing. It just comes out in different ways. So I kind of feel better, kind of a little bit more of an explanation, throwing that on there for what I do.
So, what do you consider visual art or a visual artist? Just so these guys that are hanging with us, they can understand what it means to be a visual. Because I mean, it's a huge, broad thing.
Yeah, I think it kind of. Usually when I would talk to people, I would kind of explain it that I'm a painter, but I have a hard, I work mixed media, and I think what I'm doing with paint isn't, I felt a little bit guilty just explaining it as painting or taking credit for it being painting.
Because you do a certain style with the painting, right? Isn't there a certain
there's
a name for it?
You can get into all the isms, and you can get abstract expressionism, realism, watercolor. So it's just this huge avenue, and I think what I do maybe is a little bit more. I take a little bit more of a cue from street art and graffiti.
Got it.
A little bit.
I could see that.
Yeah. So that's where I feel it fits what I do maybe a little bit better than being a painter.
What was that first experience like with the street art? Like, was there any specific thing you saw or something that just spoke to you that said, "Oh my God"?
Yeah, it was looking at when I really kind of developed the style that I'm working in now. It was probably about 10 years ago, and I wasn't a real big fan of what I was doing. It was kind of academic and boring and a little cliche. And I was seeing all of this really cool, amazing stuff happening. And I knew when I was traveling places, the things that interested me weren't always in the museum. It was more of like walking around the streets and seeing old posters ripped down and signs pasted up. So I just decided I was going to try incorporating the things I was good at, the things I wanted to learn, and all the things I thought were cool, and everything else be damned. And I didn't care if anyone liked it or not. I was just making it for me, just to do something. And I guess luckily people dug it, and it's kind of led out on this wild ride, these amazing experiences.
It's almost like it's really like the real true essence of art. I think if you're embracing something that you find, you're like, this is what I'm doing. Like, maybe they'll like it, maybe they won't, but
it's for you. So that's the most important.
Exactly. I think if you feel good about it, it has an authenticity to it, as opposed to just trying to like mimic someone's style.
Yeah. Did you have a chance to see? There was a show in Brooklyn. about the same time as the Split and Lane, Dodge and Gutters bike show.
All right.
There was a graffiti show in
Oh
Brooklyn,
wow.
and it was intense, man. Like
Yeah.
it was. I can't remember the building. Oh fuck! I can't remember the building that it was in, but it was intense though. Like historic stuff, tattoo scene, all crazy graffiti stuff. They had just a huge collection of things. It was there for quite a while, but
Wow.
that was one of me. So the our buddy Dave here, he's got a question which actually kind of leads into something I was going to ask anyways. Deacon Rose, are you familiar with Brian Bancroft's motorcycle art?
I'm not. I'm gonna have to check them out.
Check it out.
Cool.
Yeah. Which, like I said, it makes me think of what I was going to ask you about influences coming up along all different stages of your art, and when you kind of dialed it in a little bit, or do, like you said, you're doing what you do. But do you have influences in the past and influences now that really stand out to you as far as artists?
Yeah, I think some of the bigger ones, like for traditional artists, definitely Robert Rauschenberg. You know, he was the guy that was throwing cardboard and his bed sheets into what he was painting.
Oh wow!
You know, he threw everything at it, and we have this really amazing art museum in Buffalo, the Albright Knox. This phenomenal reconstruction. It's actually closed for 2 years to rebuild the whole museum. And it's a world-class abstract expressionist museum. Nice. So all those painters, you know, Jackson Pollock, I think every kid has a thing for them. Right. And then seeing stuff like Shepard Fairey, you know, Banksy, of course. Yeah. Checking out
crazy
like Logan Hicks, doing stencil art, you know, all those guys. You look at it and it forces you to step your game up. Then you get into the motorcycle world, and you know, of course, you see like Big Daddy Roth and guys doing it today, like Darren McKeague, who's a phenomenal individual.
I met Darren at the Indian Larry block party.
Yeah,
probably I can't even tell you how many years ago, but the one thing that caught my eye was that he had a toilet bowl that he had painted.
Yep.
And, I was kind of like, "Who is this?" Wow. So I chatted with Darren a little bit, and then of course I ended up following. I mean, his stuff is just, he bangs his stuff out, and it's so clean and awesome, and I really appreciate his stuff.
I've not seen a more prolific artist anywhere. It doesn't seem like that guy sleeps. He's just churning artwork constantly.
Yeah, Corey, if you haven't had a chance, I'll show you Darren's stuff. It's pretty wicked.
Sweet. Yeah, definitely.
Actually, the one of my early shows was one of the early block parties, and ended up being set up with Richie Pan. So I got a chance to meet him, and you know, you come to some of these things and you get a little starstruck, and I was like, oh man, that's the guy. And he couldn't have been a nicer dude, more helpful.
That's awesome.
Like passed on advice, and Darren's been the same way. Same thing. I you know, had good fortune to show with him a couple times at the block party, and
that's awesome.
Yeah, both he and his wife are just phenomenal people. And
yeah, that's a plus when you meet someone that you admire, whatever it is, artistically in any way, you know, painting or musician or something, and they actually turn out to be a decent person. Because I mean, I've been in the other side of it where I could follow someone's art for a while, especially tattooers, because that's my main gig. And it's like, then I have this opportunity to meet someone, and you get a 5 minutes to chat with them, and you're like, you know what? He's an awesome artist, but he's a fucking asshole. It's really disappointing. So there's something
comes right out of the sails.
There's something in any relationship, I think, that makes the other person more attractive. So it's like you have that whole thing where it's like this, whatever is coming out of a decent human being, it is visually more pleasing in my personal opinion. I said, you know what, there's something more to it because they're good people. So
yeah,
that's my 2 cents.
And that's
2 cents, baby.
Our experience of, you know, showing art in kind of the motorcycle world is in it's kind of what we gravitate to because of that reason, the people. It's, you go into some of these places and dudes look gnarly and scary. You're like, am I going to get stabbed in it?
Maybe, but
the nicest, most helpful, supportive group of people that we've been lucky to be around.
That's awesome.
Absolutely, yeah, and it's so true. I mean, it's like if you can get past that stuff, or if you're in the culture, it's easy to, but people maybe on the outside of it, if they can get past that stuff, they're going to meet a lot of nice people.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm so grateful for all the events that have gone on over the past few years and the connections that I made. It's a really great thing.
Hey, Jeff had a question, and I think it's actually something that we were going to ask around some of the influence that goes into Chris's work.
Yeah. Oh yeah. This is, I know there's an easy answer for this one, Chris.
Yeah. Evel Knievel was actually the first painting I did.
Oh, no doubt.
Was an Evel Knievel homage piece. It was big. I carried
Eric, what's up?
Someone gave me this. Someone gave me a canvas that was like 4 foot by 5 foot, and as a poor artist, you're like, this is special. I got to do something good on it. And that was the first one that I threw down what would, I guess be my style. So over the years, I've done, I don't know how many Evel Knievel pieces. Sweet. And actually, I don't know, it was maybe like 5 years ago, I got an email and it said, hi, my name is Latham McKay. I'm the president of Evel Knievel Enterprises.
Come on.
Please email me back at your earliest convenience.
Wow.
Oh, man. Here it comes. Here's the lawyers coming in. I'm getting sued or cease and desist.
No shit.
So I emailed him back. I'm like, hey, man, what's up?
What's up?
And got a response right away. And he was like, hey, I just wanted to let you know I've seen your work. I wanted to thank you for helping keep the spirit of Evel Knievel alive.
Awesome.
And then he sent me another email with like 48 links to rare pictures, interviews. He's like, I hope you can use these.
Oh, that's great.
Man, that's wicked, man.
Yeah.
So cool.
I was like, that was the exact opposite of how I thought that was going.
Yeah. I think I would have thought the same thing you did.
Yeah.
That's so crazy. So I think if people want to, obviously they want to check out your art, the Instagram, which the world is connected to.
Yeah.
And you got the website itself. Yeah.
DevilChickenDesign.com.
So, I mean, I got to ask, where'd that name come from?
Everyone always wants to know.
That's the $1 million question for you.
That's the $1 million question.
Yeah. And it's way nerdier than what anyone ever thinks. It's actually a name I've held on to since high school. It's one of those things that I was like, you know what, someday I'm going to do something with this. And came up with it. I had a friend that was really into Dungeons and Dragons. He was the only one.
Oh,
and he was like, he just
nerd.
Yeah, he's probably the most incredible artist I know. But yeah, he's a nerd. But wanted us to play Dungeons and Dragons. So finally, after months and months, we relented and just made a mockery of the game. So that was the last time he asked us. But you had to name your character, and I'm like, I'm the Devil Chicken.
Nice.
And that was it.
I had to. I'm a high school teacher for like the day job, and I moved classrooms a couple years ago. So I was cleaning out file cabinets, and I actually found a box of like the 5.5-inch floppy disks.
Oh,
and when I was cleaning everything out, and one of them was my original Devil Chicken design logos from like 1990.
Awesome. That's good stuff.
Floppy disks.
Like I said, everyone thinks it's going to be this way cooler story. No, it's lame.
It's so funny, Jim. We're talking about ditto machines, and now we're talking about 5-inch floppies.
Yeah. Corey and I were talking about ditto machines. We were relating the purple mimeograph ink or whatever to the
turn it out. Yep.
Tattoo stencil maker. But we have it's so funny when you mention certain things in time. I have one of the girls at the shop is 23, and she's just like, "What?"
Well, I brought up
what?
I brought up a
floppy
scene.
Disks? What?
A scene from the WandaVision show the other night, and in one of the, I won't spoil it for anybody who hasn't seen it yet, but I'm just going to make one comment. There's one scene where they're actually putting computers in this office, and the computers are Commodore 64s. And when I said that, she looked at me like, I don't know what that is. So I didn't expect you to.
Yeah.
So funny.
So you have, there's obviously a constant theme in the art that you do, and it's skulls, which sign me up.
Yeah.
I found this meme a while back that's like, it's about tattooing, you know, what I have left or what kind of ideas I have, you know, for people, and it's a Rolodex, and on the Rolodex it's just every page says skull.
I've actually seen that.
Yeah. And I have people come in that are like, bro, I got a spot right here, like I don't know and I'm like, what about a skull, you know? Yeah. So I can't get enough of them. I love them. So
you've probably done like 7 of them on me, I think.
Yeah. So maybe we could do a skull. So
hey,
it's consistent. Oh, actually, this is Taya Falls. So
what's
Taya
up,
was on
Taya?
with us a couple weeks ago, Chris, and she's actually in Toronto. So you
Oh,
guys
right
are just about neighbors. I was saying earlier.
Yeah, I watched that episode, I think. Yeah.
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
So, and this is actually, that's perfect timing because she's a huge horror fan. You have big interest in horror and things horror, and there's tell us about that, because there's something specifically I think that kind of drew you to all that stuff. Or
you guys started talking about the Romero movies, and I was those are my favorite.
I found a little nugget about you.
When I was a kid, my mom was always big into horror movies, and I was 5 years old, and I remember it was around Halloween. We went into Toys R Us at the mall, and I was this little kid, like staring up at the wall of toys, just dumbfounded. And all of a sudden, someone in a werewolf mask started chasing me through the store, and then didn't stop until the manager made him stop because I was bawling my eyes out, and it was my mother. But when I was a kid,
oh, that's great.
I think I don't know, I was maybe like 5th, 6th grade. We were supposed to move to Saudi Arabia. My dad had actually been over there for 6 months. He was working. My mom and I sold everything, and it was like we were leaving Monday, and there was a knock on the door Friday afternoon, and it was my dad. They decided they wanted the government in Saudi Arabia wanted to renegotiate the contract.
Wow.
Yeah, and they had to escape out of the country. So we ended up moving. The company he was working for moved us to Pittsburgh. Actually, outside of Pittsburgh, we lived in Evans City.
Yep.
And I was playing hide and seek with some kids in the woods behind my house, and came up out of this hill, and it was a cemetery, and it was weird because I'm like, man, I've seen this before.
That's awesome.
Where they made Night of the Living Dead was literally in my backyard.
Sick.
And
that's awesome.
Yeah. So
that's awesome.
The science labs and the the prison camp in the Crazies.
Oh,
School I went to.
No kidding.
At the beginning of that movie, they kick in the doors to a hotel room, the Zillion Opal Hotel. That was where we lived for the first, I think, 3 months we were down there.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, since then, I've been hooked on all those movies.
Do you have like a favorite? Anything that like
Day of the Dead? Hands down, the best one. Bub turns the corner. The story. I'd like to see someone try to remake the original script for that big, expansive script. But
there you go, Taya.
Yeah, there's actually and then on my honeymoon, my wife and I, we went to down into West Virginia to go whitewater rafting, and we were passing by Pittsburgh. Oh, wow. So as a romantic honeymoon stop, I took her to the Evans City Cemetery. And showed her there's actually someone buried in there whose name is Cash Dollar.
Wow.
Yeah. So if you ever go there, check out the Cash Dollar tombstone.
Wow.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Damn, I wish I had a cool name like that.
I know.
You could change it, man. Change it to that.
Big old tooth.
Yeah, do what the dude did today. You see the guy, he put a diamond in his forehead, like a $22 million diamond or whatever in his forehead.
I saw that. When I was talking about this find it kind of funny, Chris, like and names and stuff. So I'm in an art show coming up next week, and my friend Kevin just opened a gallery last year, or maybe before everything happened. But so he's got this promo poster, and it's got all the names on the promo poster, and so I need a headshot and I need just a small artist bio. They're actually resin toys, like from China.
Okay.
And it's this huge. There's this huge culture there, which he does. That's part of his living. It's really interesting. They're resin casts, and they're just one color, and then he paints them crazy, awesome, and people buy these things for big money. So he said, "Yeah, you want to be part of the show?" I said, "Yeah." So he gets this poster together, and there's the names on there, like J Fro and crazy creations and Rocket Zapper and this, and they're all. I'm looking at the thing, and then there's me in the middle. This is Jim Lopresti, and I'm like, Lopresti doing some paint over there. And underneath there is Zapper guy, all the. And I said, damn, why don't you let me know? I would have. So I literally, no bullshit. The deadline to get him a photo and this little bio was yesterday, and I forgot. So shit, I gotta email Kevin. And I was like, Christy, I said, visual artist. I just read Chris's. I said, I'm a visual artist. I do a lot of shit. So thank you for that. I really appreciate that, because I didn't know what to say. I said, I'm a visual because I do a lot of different stuff, but I don't know.
It works.
It's good stuff.
So your artwork, it definitely has a unique look to it, and I stare at it, I look at it, and I really can't figure out how you do a lot of this stuff. So I do have some stuff, and Corey, I'm gonna probably pop some stuff on the screen, and I'm sorry if it covers you up for a minute.
Hey man, that's okay.
But just so looking at this stuff, it has this layered feel to it, and I just really can't figure out how you do some of this stuff. So if you don't mind, like maybe
that really is wild
part of the process of creating the stuff.
Yeah.
And actually to the skulls too, if you can touch on it, I want to know what your motivation is, what your feeling is for actually, with a lot of the images, there's some, is it safe to say, famous people?
Yeah.
So you put the skull in place of that. So I don't know if you have a.
Yeah, I actually, I think my last solo show, now I got to try to remember the full title of it, was, give me a minute on it. But I'll talk about the process first. So kind of the graphic image, the black and gray part of it. And this one, actually, they're all hand drawn.
This is the board I got from you.
Yeah. And that
man.
That drawing took me longer than anything else. So the original, I think, was like 4 feet tall. I think I had over 60 hours just into that drawing. But it's all marker on vellum. I use brush tip markers, so it's kind of like painting. I do all my preliminary designs on the computer. So part of my thing is trying to force divergent things together. So working. And everyone always thinks they're just a printout when they first look at it. And part of the other part of it is I want to make the drawing look computer generated. So I don't know. It's my weird thing of kind of making it too fartsy or artsy for it.
That's wild though, man. That is just sick. It honestly looks like it's going to drive toward me.
Thanks.
It really does. Like I can grab it.
Yeah. The reason I use the vellum is because it's semi-transparent.
Right.
So layering all that stuff underneath, I can control what you see through it. And then the white drips are alcohol ink. So that actually lets me punch up the highlights. And that stuff is the stuff I was using was out of Germany. Mm-hmm. And they actually banned it in the United States. You can't get it anymore.
Really?
Oh, wow.
Oh, it killed brain cells by the dozens. So that stuff was like super heavy duty. Yeah. And then the backgrounds, kind of where I tell the story of what's in the picture.
Mm-hmm.
So as we travel around, luckily we've been fortunate to show all over the world that I'll collect things like under, maybe to the right of the headlight, there's actually a ticket for a raffle, the art and motorcycle show we used to do.
Oh, nice.
Right underneath the dude kind of going up over his shoulder is a ticket I got from the Pennsylvania State Police hauling a bike from New York down to
it's awesome.
Virginia. So it's kind of all that collection. And like I said, I'm fascinated also by trying to take something new and make it look old. So there are always these new boards that I start with, and I'll wheat paste everything together. It's just flour, sugar, water. And then I go at it with a knife and sandpaper to just age it. And it's kind of that thing of not being too precious about anything.
Yeah.
So you hack at it, you tear it, you collage over it. That's kind of the fun part after you spend 40, 60 hours drawing.
Wow.
You get to get some of that frustration out.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, it's wicked. So that's cool that you have like the real, like you say, the stuff that you've collected along the way, like these the real personal experiences that you're putting into these paintings and stuff. That's pretty.
Yeah, I'm a big garage sales and estate sales.
That's wild. Like I'm seeing all kinds of stuff in there now.
We'll cover me and Corey because we're not that great to look at.
This one,
look at that.
Started doing skateboards. I'm a failed skateboarder as a kid.
Are you?
I loved skateboarding, but was terrible at it. But I love kind of the artwork that was always on the decks. So this one was initially a design for Sean Long, Imperial House.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Cleaning. So this was kind of my first draft, and he wanted to go a different direction of it. So I used the design on this skate deck, and then underneath it is actually kind of the brown is actually iron oxide that's rusted.
Okay.
Oh wow.
And then underneath that is metallic brass, I think, paint.
Wow,
and then all that stuff is acid etched in there for oxide. And then the halo is gold leaf.
Oh, it's gold leaf.
Skate decks used to be like, I remember seeing some stuff that was done by designs were put on from the was it Pusshead?
Yeah,
right.
We did all those
sick stuff out there. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Pusshead's
Misfits too. I think he did something. Maybe I don't remember, but I do remember seeing some shit on skateboards that was sick.
Yeah,
probably one of my all-time favorite artists, Pusshead, and I think that's why
amazing.
I gravitate towards black and white designs in everything, tattooing as well.
I just found him on Instagram, and I was like, "Oh yeah!"
No kidding. I'm gonna have to look at that.
Yeah, I didn't. I actually, I'll be honest with you. I didn't even know if he was still around because I must have been 15 or 16 when I
exactly. That's a long time ago.
I know he's still doing it
years ago.
It's awesome.
There was a wicked gallery in St. Mark's Place. Fucking wow, like late 80s, early 90s, called the Psychedelic Solution, and it was and I was like, that's where I got introduced to some of the lowbrow art, if you will. And there were Pusshead prints, there was some Alex Gray stuff there before he was doing his real colorful.
Oh yeah,
I can remember one vividly, man. The Devil Lock. There was one he did with this, like the.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
That one vivid. I vividly remember that one. It was just so sick looking.
This one I really wanted to ask you about because of some of the elements in this one. You got the long shorts and long socks, and looks like maybe like an AK-47 or
Are those shants, Jim?
Yeah, it's actually Jason Jesse from like some early '90s picture I found of him.
Okay, I was wondering who it was.
Yeah, and I had a friend who was a bike builder in Buffalo, and decided they had enough of the cold, and he and his wife were moving down to Florida.
Mm-hmm.
And just out of the blue one day, he called me up and was like, "Hey, I've got a surfboard and a guitar. I think you'll do something cool with them if you want them." I was like, "Yes,
that's awesome."
That's awesome.
So I grabbed it, and it was just kind of a cool thing. So this one kind of came together as like Jason Jesse's just this super eclectic dude of like interests in skating and bike building, and he just always makes everything gnarly. So that's kind of what I wanted to do in the background. It's got everything from Mexican movie posters to
awesome.
old popular science magazines, old Easy Riders from the 60s in there. And kind of the cool thing, I think I posted one picture of that on Instagram, and it was sold.
Wow.
Really?
Actually, Dan Dreyer from Dixon Flannels.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm in the Dixon Hall of Fame. So
bravo.
The art gallery. He scooped it up. And
that's awesome.
So to ship it, I had to send it to Arizona, and I read all these horror stories about, because surfboards, man, if you've ever picked them up, they feel like an egg. They're just fragile.
Very fragile.
Pretty delicate shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
right? I mean,
like crazy horror stories about them, like being crushed during shipping. So I built it looked like a coffin by the time it was done. This crate was like 7 feet long, and it weighed something like 70 pounds.
Wow.
Ship it out there.
That's so cool. Thing's wild.
So the I think what interests me about this is just like technique wise, how you can is there a crazy clear coat on this thing, or
yeah, so I think that one right in that stage, all it's got on it is like an acrylic varnish.
Okay.
But if you're gonna run like any of the tanks I end up doing, as long as you clear them, they're good to go. The first one I did, like I said, we used to do an art and motorcycle show in the city. And one of the last years, we decided we wanted to do a giveaway bike. So we were selling raffle tickets and got sponsors from around the country to donate parts. My buddy that helped with the show, he's a bike builder. It does phenomenal work in East Aurora, Broken Sprocket Garage. And he just said, "Do you want to do the tank?" And I'd never done one before, but I was like, "Yeah, let's give it a try."
Man.
And it was Evil Knievel, actually. It came out rad. So once that was done, this guy actually, I did the original design for that as a skateboard, and he wanted it as a tank. So I was like, let's do it. And Lowbrow Customs makes that tank. They're awesome to work with. That is my favorite tank to paint on. Just has this amazing surface, all these like really nice smooth planes.
Yeah, it's awesome, man.
Yeah, that's some sweet stuff right there.
Was it pretty stressful the first time you're doing a tank? Something that's going to be out in the elements and functioning on a piece of machinery. Were you like stressed out about it?
Yeah, it was horrifying. I was like, please don't let me mess this whole thing up, because I knew how hard my buddy Dave was working, how much people had invested in it. And I'm like, if I screw this up, we're screwed.
So you're dealing with different kinds of paint when you move on to like helmets. Yeah, because I think you just did something recently, and I wanted to ask you what you used on this helmet. I thought I had oh yeah, here we go.
The mermaid one.
Or was like the mermaid, or here we go.
Yeah, the mermaid. Yeah, I just finished this one. That's all done with enamel, either alpha enamel or a little bit of one shot in there.
I was gonna ask if it was one shot.
Yeah,
that's cool.
This thing's bad.
Look at that.
This like I think this has a different feel from the most of the stuff that you do. It's got, I mean, it looks a little. You have the contrast of like the most of the black and gray stuff that you do with the color behind it. Now you're working on this gray helmet with all this color work up front, basically.
Yeah, for the helmets, it generally kind of works out that way. And I really like if I get the opportunity to do, like a big board, art painting, and then a helmet or a tank job, because it forces you to have to like switch it up, and it's a little bit of a different style, so it keeps it fresh.
Mm-hmm.
and that was actually a helmet for a friend of mine, Elizabeth, and she got this brand new helmet, gave it to me, and just said, she's into pirates, she's into mermaids, come up with something, she's like, do your thing to it. And it's always nice when you get customers that just say, I want your work, but they give you a little bit of a direction to go in.
Yeah. Right.
I get it.
Yeah, a little sprinkle of something, and then you just run with it.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
So have you done a couple of built wells now at this point?
I have, yeah. I've done probably a decent handful of them over the years. Like I said, for Babes Ride Out, I've done like 3 or 4 for them. And once that helmet hit, I think I've got like 2 more commissions rolling in. I just finished another one.
It's awesome, man.
So
yeah, that's great.
Those guys, of course, Bill and the guys from Billwell are awesome dudes. Like there's so many places connected that I think it's like I said, it's so great to meet all these good people. So it's nice, a bunch already, and it's like, oh yeah, things that I'm.
It's a weirdly odd, like it's a small world, of you meet one person and they're like, hey, do you know this guy? And then you invariably end up crossing paths, even though it may be around the world. And
yeah, it's interesting too with everything going on because in a sense the world has almost gotten smaller, especially Corey and I started doing this last year, and we have now this connection through technology, and I fought it for the longest time. I didn't really get it, and I was like, what's FaceTime and this and that? I don't want to fuck with that, and I don't feel comfortable. My therapist wanted to talk to me on Zoom, and I was like, what am I need but to embrace it in this way and utilize it with good intentions is actually a really great tool. And we're facing a lot of stuff where we don't really have a choice. Otherwise, I can't be locked in my basement like all the time, not talking to anybody. I'm like, maybe I'll create some cool art, but I really need to talk to some people. So
that's it. Like I think out of all of this, like having this ability to interact with people has been crucial.
Crucial,
that's the thing. I think 2 things I maybe miss the most out of it is live music and travel. Just being able to like see friends, meet new people.
Yeah, man.
Just it's nice to talk to people. It's nice to shoot emails back and forth. Do things like this, but and I miss going out and hanging out with people in person.
Absolutely.
Yeah, especially the live music thing. That's a killer. That's a killer. It's a dagger.
Yeah, Corey's. I don't even know how he's functioning right now because this is a guy who's lives for live music, and
I mean,
getting some of the shows that we've gone to together it actually becomes a mission, because it's like, timing and how do we get there, and you got to work, I got to work, and who got the kids, blah blah blah. And
I'll rent vans and drive everybody. I don't even care. Let's go. I'm ready. Rhode Island, Brooklyn, wherever you want to go. Let's go.
Yeah, you're talking to a guy that saw Tool in where were you,
Virginia.
Literally
drove 8 hours, slept for 5, and drove back. Yeah, and it was awesome. Where's Frank? Where's Frank?
Yeah,
I don't know.
We need Frank.
I got to tell you a story. The first time I saw Tool, they were it was on Lollapalooza, but they
like 92, right?
Yeah, they were still playing the second stage.
Yeah,
wow.
There was enough buzz. Like I got there early, got a good spot. And sure enough, like they had jugglers with chainsaws and shit.
Oh yeah.
By the time they came out, it was shoulder to shoulder. They hit the first bass chord. The most athletic thing I've ever seen in my life. The guy next to me, like we're crammed in like this, jumped straight up, spun around, kicked me in the side of the head with his Doc Martin, and then ran across the top of the crowd. I'm like, I'm going to go move to the back a little bit.
Wow.
Still to this day, I've never seen an athletic event equal it.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. Wow.
Jugglers with chainsaws. I'm making a note of that.
Yeah, that was like Jim Rhodes sideshow stuff, I think, right? Yeah.
We got to try and get some jugglers with chainsaws on here.
Well, we had a sword swallower. Where's Gigi?
We did.
Like they had 11 people pass out in a 35-minute show.
Yeah, I don't doubt it, man.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
So you talk about the day job. You're a teacher, yeah.
Yep.
What do you teach actually?
Astrophysics. No, I teach.
What?
I teach drawing, painting, and digital design.
So you're our teacher. Are you what are you teaching? High school or
yeah, high school.
Oh, right on. Okay, in Buffalo or another town?
I'm like first ring suburb of Buffalo, just south of the city.
Nice.
Yeah, I've been there 25 years.
25 years, no shit.
And lucky, I'm really lucky. They're super supportive of my art career.
Yeah.
So they've accommodated my schedule, my like travel schedule, my show schedule.
And that's awesome, man.
That's great.
That's huge.
It was at the block party. I met the guys that put on a show in Basel, Switzerland one year.
Wow.
And I emailed them, and the next year, Mario Burkhart, one of the organizers, came back and looked at my work and said, "Hey, we've got one more spot. If you can come to Switzerland, it's yours. You're in the show."
Oh, wow.
I was like, yeah, I'll take it. I went back to work and went and talked to my superintendent, and I was like, man, I got to see if I can swing this. And went into his office, and I was like, hey, I've got this opportunity to show my artwork in Switzerland. And his first reaction was, you have to go.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, God.
Oh, that's great.
Oh,
Wow.
Good, because I was going to, and even if you said no.
Yeah. They're super supportive.
That's great.
The smell of fear.
It's a friend of mine, Jillian.
Hey, what's going
She has
on?
a
Welcome.
horror movie themed candle company.
You know what? I saw that stuff and I started following it because I was like, oh man, that's the good and bad thing. You talk about the connections we have, but when it comes to purchasing stuff, I'm like, oh, whoa,
Yeah. There were
buy a double chicken board. I want some candles. I need some hot sauce. I want some. So it's that. It's like hello, smell of fear.
Yeah.
Depending on how much I'm drinking at night, the Amazon boxes at the doorstep is like, oh shit, no. I'm like, I sometimes fear opening them up in front of my wife. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Like the box that Christine sent us, Corey, actually.
Right. Yes. Yes.
And
I've heard of your stories, Jim.
Yeah.
The 3 a.m. purchases. Yes.
Yeah. Multiple motorcycle parts.
Oh yeah.
Why don't I have 2 pairs of $120 sneaker boots for riding? It's like, oh fuck, Anyway.
Free returns on Amazon. It's make believe. Just
you can go to Kohl's now. Just drop that shit off. You'll be good to go.
Right.
Definitely. So you guys had you guys had the show, the event that you had organized and started. What was that? The
Voodoo and Burnt Rubber.
Voodoo and Burnt Rubber.
Yeah.
When did you guys start that? Was it?
I think we ran it for 7 years, so it would probably be like maybe 9-10 years ago was the first one. It just kind of popped in as like I said, my buddy Dave owns Broken Sprocket Garage, and he did a customer like appreciation party. Yeah. And he was like, hey, what do you think about coming and hanging some work up? And my wife Jo was with me, and she was like, hey, if we're gonna do this, let's get a food truck. And so it started really small, but we had probably 250 people show up that first year. Just kept growing. We moved it out of that like small shop into the city of Buffalo. We were actually shutting down a block by the time it was over.
Oh wow.
Yeah, just like burnouts in the street, and had artists coming from all over the country, bike builders from all over the country. It was rad, but it was a lot of stress. It was just trying to make sure of getting everything and everyone had a good time.
And the bigger it gets, the more responsibilities you have for not just yourselves, but other people involved in the show and parties and insurance and all this shit. I get it, man. That's a lot.
It was, and we had actually talked about bringing it back. Was it this past summer? We were just about to start planning it when the world went to shit. So
you were going to bring it back.
Yeah, we were going to try to maybe just like not necessarily do it every year, but maybe do like pop-up ones. So it's not dead. I'm sure it'll make a comeback at some point. But
absolutely.
It was more or less an excuse for us to bring people that we'd met through motorcycle shows to Buffalo and hang out.
It's awesome, man.
So we put everybody in our house, actually, because we were living in the city at that point. We had so many people staying in our house, we left and stayed in our neighbor's place across the street.
No kidding. That's great, man.
Come back in the morning and make breakfast for people.
That's true friendship right there. That's awesome.
Yeah, no doubt. Dedication.
Oh, this is actually a buddy of mine, Eric. Imagine if you did a snare drum, and I know you did guitars and stuff before, right? Did you do a couple guitars? Yeah,
I did. Actually, I've got a couple that should just about be ready to come out now. I got another buddy that's local, is a custom guitar builder. So I did a couple for him. I actually did one for the last Major League Baseball All-Star game.
Really?
Fender and Louisville Slugger. I was the artist they picked for the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Wow.
Now my favorite team.
Very cool, man.
So I did one for them, and I've done. I actually got to do one bass drum head for a local luchador surf rock band.
Oh,
really rad. Yeah,
no doubt.
Our buddies.
Was it when you was the what was it? Was it a wooden shell actually? Is that something that would be easier to work on? The shell, the bass drum itself, the shell, is it a wooden shell or? I
did the front face.
You did I think it'd be sick if it was a whole kit like the shells.
Yeah. I'll see if I'll get my buddy Jay to give me his drum.
Yeah. Well, we order a new drum set right now.
Yeah.
There you go. See what happens?
Yeah.
There'll be one at the doorstep tomorrow.
Oh God. One of our friends, Christine, was wondering about our straws. So we actually got these interesting straws from our friend Christine. She sent us a box of things. I don't know if you can really make out. This is
Can you see what we're dealing with?
They're
I saw the blow up toys earlier.
They're Valentine's, right?
It's going to be an epic struggle to see who gets what here.
Oh man, I'm telling you, we were debating all day. I'm telling you, I don't know. This may come down to just the most scientific thing of all, which is the coin flip.
There you go.
Yeah, I love the idea, like Chris, what you're talking about. Just really getting people into Buffalo and bringing people together for the event that you guys were doing, and watching it develop over the years. Now thinking about it too. So it's so crazy going through what everyone's been going through in the last year and having all these events kind of squashed and live music and stuff. It just sucks. I started a helmet show a couple years back, and it was the same experience, just exactly how you were describing it. You have the concept, you have the idea, and say, oh, let's do it. It could be a cool thing. We were really fortunate to have the very first show we did was huge. It was overwhelming.
Yeah,
completely overwhelming. It was huge, and then we kept it going. So I think we were on our third year, and we were getting ready for last summer to do the fourth show, and of course we didn't. And then coming into this summer is very much up in the air, which is I don't know if it'll happen.
Yeah,
but if and when I should say not if, but when I do bring it back, because it's the kind of thing that you, like you said, you do, and then there's all these artists and people that you admire from all over the place that get involved, and it's a chance to hang out and say and talk motorcycle. It's the show I do is the Upcycle helmet art show, which is I collect wherever I can get them, helmets from like the 60s and 70s. They're all beat up, eBay, marketplace, whatever, and then I started, the first show was like 25 artists, and then it grew to about 40, and I just give them to these guys for like 2 or 3 months before the show, and then they do whatever. And the cool thing is they're not painting them for use on the road. They're just painting them as art. So it got really extreme, and there was like sculptural.
Yeah, some of them are just wild.
I've been following it on Instagram. There's some
right on.
There's some red signs on there for sure.
So it would be great to have you be part of that if and when the time comes to bring it back to the
man.
Nice.
Wow, awesome. I appreciate that.
I'll drink to that.
drink to that, cheers, So meeting people, traveling, you've had these opportunities to travel, and there's one specific place you've been that I feel kind of jealous of.
Yeah, this is a good one.
And I'll just show a picture and let you talk about this a little bit. You can tell me where this photo came from.
Oh, that's the Annapurna Range in Nepal. Yeah, I had the amazing experience of going doing a 2-week motorcycle expedition across Nepal last year with Motorcycle Sherpa, Bear Houghton and Booty Singh.
Wow.
Can't say enough good things about those guys and that organization. If you're looking for an experience, those are the guys to go with. It's not cheap, and that was initially when I looked at it, and I was a little bit nervous about it. The experience far outweighs the cost of it, and I don't know how they can make it that cheap for what you get out of it. But it was organized by Tim Statt from Rochester, who does Gigacycle Garage, and he's actually the guy that gas tank you pulled up earlier. He's the guy that designs them for Lowbrow Customs.
Oh, wow.
So he does some phenomenal stuff, and it ended up being all industry professionals from, Pat from Lead Sled, Gary, who's a champion enduro racer, Big Knees, tattoo artist. The 3 guys, Patrick, Jeff, and Rouser from Builtwell. Patrick, another tattoo artist. I mean, it was phenomenal. The group of guys, Michael Lichter, Mikey Revolt. It was a blast, and we basically got 2 weeks to just ride through Nepal. I ate shit the first day coming down the side of a mountain, went over the handlebars.
That was the very first day?
Very first day, yeah. I had very minimal dirt experience.
Yeah.
And that's all it is. This run is the same one where there's the documentary? Is this the same?
I don't
like Royal Enfields. Did you guys ride smaller bikes?
I think Bear put together like a 10 little doc about it. Yeah.
Yeah, it is unbelievable. You can't ride it. Danger Dan did a, I think, 3-episode podcast on the road during it. He asked everybody, like, how would you explain it? And I don't think anybody could. They were just like, you have to be here to see it.
It's funny because this might actually be more your experience and you posting pictures might actually be more of the connection that I had with you, because I had been thinking about the ride and talking to Tracy about it. And I was like, I'm going to do something for my 50th birthday. I want to do something crazy. And then I probably in a feed saw some of your photos. And I was like, yo, this fucking devil chicken dude's in fucking Nepal. What the fuck? Don't you know that guy? Didn't you talk to him? So when I started seeing the photos, it probably I think I reached out to you with a couple of questions.
Yeah,
I was getting excited about it, and then COVID fucked everything up. But
damn that COVID!
Amazing. You have I believe I stole these from your Instagram. This is another shot of
that's Munktanov. That's actually the highest point we ride to, and it's, I think, 17,500 feet up. And to get from, you actually park on a helipad, and then you have to walk right around 100 stairs to get into the temple.
Yeah,
and it's
so cool.
Yeah, it is. It's
amazing.
It's just awe-inspiring. And we sat in a 1,000-year-old temple listening to a Buddhist monk chant, say prayers.
That's stuff you just can't, like you say, how do you explain stuff like that?
That's
really
heavy, man.
This is actually from Mount Everest. The last day, 5 of us chartered a helicopter. Totally cheated. And you go up the highest they can take aircraft, which was 20,000 feet. And you get out, and it's just instant lightheaded.
I can imagine. My God, that's just wild.
The pilot we had was like this Nepalese national hero that was telling us stories about like the earthquake they had back in 2005.
Wow.
Rescued hundreds of people.
Oh.
So he was just basically telling us war stories.
Wow.
Yeah, it's the trip of a lifetime. I highly recommend it.
How did you feel about so when was it? Was this 2018 or 2019? Was it
2019 November, like right before everything got squirrely?
And how was the travel? Did you feel pretty comfortable traveling to Nepal? I mean, it's pretty crazy. I talk about it like leaving Tracy and my daughter home and getting on a plane to go to Nepal, and they're kind of like, well, I don't know. Was it felt pretty comfortable being in there, and you're with a group of people? I would imagine that's
the thing you got to remember is it's a Buddhist country,
right?
So it's everybody's peaceful. The group of guys we were with, we would, as we were in like certain places, we would walk down purposefully dark alleys to see like, all right, let's see what we can find. the gnarliest path we could, and you'd see people come out, and we're like, all right, what's going to happen here? And they're like, oh, you must be lost. You're off the beaten path. Like, go back this way.
Right.
One of the first nights we were in Kathmandu, actually my roommate Chris for the trip, we call it, he got put in bar jail. We all went out drinking and ended up at what would be a Nepal strip club, which no one gets naked. They just dance on stage, do weird karaoke. It's super bizarre.
I love it. Sign me up.
Running up a tab and had to go to an ATM. So I stuck with him, and we ended up somehow like on this fire escape going up the side of a building.
Whoa.
He was hammered, and all of a sudden dudes started coming out of like all these places, and I'm like, all right, it's going down. Here we go. And it was just him.
Sounds like a good movie.
I know.
Yeah, it was any other situation. It was scary, and nothing happened. They walked us to an ATM, and that was it.
Wow.
So yeah, travel is no problem there.
Nice.
This picture is definitely interesting to me. I know you talked about this experience, and from what I understand, it's basically a cremation.
Yeah, it's so I'm trying to think. I'm blanking right now on the name of the temple.
Yeah,
but
I can look it up on Instagram for you.
It's basic Buddhism and Hinduism. I think they want to burn the bodies, cremate them, send them to the afterlife within 24 hours.
Yeah.
So literally these plinths, once they get done with one pyre, they push it into the river. And the reason it's there is it's a holy river. So as you can see, if you look further down into the picture, there's one more platform.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The closer you get to the temple means the more important of a person you are.
Oh, wow.
Obviously someone of some social status.
Yeah.
But once they get done, they just push it into the river, and the next body, they rebuild it. The next body goes on, and it just cycles.
Wow.
And the reason I was able to like find this out, we were standing on a bridge, and it's a pretty humbling experience. Like we were close enough where you can just feel the heat coming off of this.
Yeah.
And this kid who was probably 16 years old walked up to me and just started explaining everything.
Wow.
And he ended up, it was me, Michael Lichter, maybe like two other dudes. He walked us through the entire temple to like where the monks stay and explained what everything was.
Wow.
Because he wanted to share what his culture was to make sure we understood it.
Yeah.
The night I tried to give him money, and he was like, no, this isn't what it was about. And I'm like, no, man, like
that's awesome.
The experience you just gave me, like, please take this.
When this stuff is going on, when you're experiencing this stuff, is there a good amount of silence through the process? Like, is everyone just kind of focused on the fire and otherwise, relatively quiet? Or
yes and no. Definitely the family that's there for it.
Yeah.
The weird thing is that there were kids just walking up and down. It's such a cultural norm. They were just walking up and down and out. Like I said, this is a holy river, just kicking bottles into the river. So that was kind of a weird juxtaposition. And the other thing about this temple in particular, it drew a lot of, I guess, mentally ill homeless people.
Oh yeah.
So where it would normally be really quiet by the family, there were literally screaming mad people running around, yelling and ripping their clothes off.
Wow. My God.
So it's a weird juxtaposition. But again, culturally, it's this spot. That's what it's there for.
Right.
Yep. I mean, so you're having these pretty extreme experiences as a motorcyclist. You know, you're going like, I'm gonna do some crazy, riding on these wicked roads, and then the element of being out there is, you're going into Buddhist temples and you're experiencing these death, rituals and stuff like that. It had to be pretty crazy. And you're saying the first day you were there, you cracked up or fell off the bike, right? So
yeah, it was. That's what I mean. It's hard to put into words what the totality of the experience was.
Yeah,
because it was so many things. Of just seeing it. And like I said, they have 24 hours to get the bodies to that site. So if you saw the videos of everyone on the world's longest suspension bridge, where it's that real narrow bridge that we were riding across.
Yeah.
And actually, while we were out on that bridge, we took a photo and a couple of us were hanging around shooting pictures.
Yeah.
There ended up being this congestion in the middle. And then all of a sudden, these people came through carrying stretcher over their shoulder, so we kind of like lean over the bridge. Yeah. So they had a person on a stretcher, and we're like, oh, it must be someone sick. They got to get them somewhere.
Yeah,
they were dead. Like as they brushed by, I felt them like brush my, my face, and they were completely dead. They were taking them.
Wow.
To the temple.
Wow.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, look at there, Christine.
Yeah.
Oh,
there you go.
That's crazy.
Now,
so
Chris, have you brought any of that like experience back into any of your art, like more recent stuff you've been working on?
Yeah, I collected feverishly. I've got a pretty good sized box of pieces I was able to. Thank you. Yeah, the basmati to bring back. And actually, one of the guys, Jay Adamski, that was on the ride with us. He's a New York guy. He's commissioning a painting, so I'm gonna do it's him in front of the mountains.
Very cool.
Awesome.
Put that in there. I've got another one in the back of my head. Sometimes they take me, like, I do a lot of sketching in my brain.
Yeah.
I kind of like draw it and redraw it and try to figure it out.
That's
so rattling around in there that'll come out, but it hasn't yet.
That's the visual part, right?
Yeah.
Starts here.
Yeah, definitely.
So
that's great.
You were on this trip with a bunch of names I recognize, and were you also was Cool Beans Chris on this ride with you?
Cool Beans was in bar jail. Cool Beans was my room.
Chris is awesome.
He's
a maniac, but I did see some of the video of especially the hanging bridges with him on there, and he was like, I'm not going. That's great.
He left, and he stayed for like another 2 weeks.
Oh, he did? No shit. Wow.
And I was like seeing videos of him, and he's such a personable dude. He just latched on with like another group, and they were like, "Hey, Chris!"
Yeah. So I'll tell Corey quick. Cool Beans Chris. He was the kind of the jumpstart point of the Gypsy Run. For years and years and years. The coffee shop in Jersey, right, Chris?
Yeah.
And he's a maniac. So
nice.
There's certain people that you kind of gravitate towards or connect to, and not even when you're doing these things. Oh, this motorcycle weekend once a year, it's a blur, but you're like, yeah, that guy, hey, what's up? So I finally, after a couple of years of doing the Gypsy Run, I saw Chris, and even in the recent last 2-3 years, I was just like, what's up, man? He's like, hey, dude, what's up? So I think the last one we did, actually, I had a chance to really talk to Chris a little bit more, Cool Beans, and And at one point, I think he was getting tattooed by Tracy, and he's like, "Ah!" And I was like, "Dude, that's awesome!" And it was like an hour or two later, he was in another chair with another one of the artists from the shop getting another tattoo, and I was like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Ah!" So he's a maniac, but he's super cool. I really like him a lot.
He got tattooed in Nepal, actually.
Oh wow!
He got a rad tattoo in Nepal. We found this artist like one of our days off.
That's awesome.
That's ridiculous.
This dude was, his work was phenomenal, and yeah, he just got this huge piece on his arm, and
no shit. Wow.
He didn't care about like, we're riding through rivers, and he's
yeah. I look forward to seeing him in the future. Hopefully, and it looks like the Gypsy Run might happen this year, so it'd be great to see.
Yeah, I know. Like, just got dates for Fuel Cleveland is in November, October. The Congregation show down in North Carolina. So, calendar's starting to get populated.
Yeah, I wanted to bring a bike to Fuel Cleveland, but everything got put off. But so what do you ride? Do you have your go-to motorcycle right now that you're riding?
I've got a couple. I have a hard time getting rid of bikes. I
think Jimmy does too.
Yeah. I had a 59 Ironhead that it was like a love-hate relationship, and a dude down in Maryland for a bike. And as soon as it was like leaving my driveway, I was like, "Oh, I've done something terribly wrong."
Oh, it's the worst, dude.
And sure enough, man, like years later, that dude's girlfriend messaged me through Instagram.
Oh no,
your bike's back in Buffalo and it's for sale.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, I got it back. I still hate it. But
crazy.
I just finished, actually my buddy Dave finished, I had a 2004 Softail Springer.
Yeah.
That's my old man chopper. So it's a suspension Softail chopper.
Wow.
Sean Long did the paint. That big painting I did for him was a trade. It's killer.
So wicked, man.
Yeah. And then actually last summer, right around the corner from me, which is super bizarre, a Royal Enfield Himalayan went up for sale, which is what we rode.
Yeah.
Had like 300 miles on it, still under warranty, and I got it for half price.
Man, that's so awesome.
So that's been my like daily.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's been my daily commuter.
Yeah, that's awesome. Those are great. I love those bikes.
To have, to go through this. Talk about like a love-hate relationship with motorcycles, and it's like,
hey, welcome. Who do we have here?
This is Rowan. He's
what's up, buddy?
What's up, buddy?
Look at him.
He's the one when I work up here, he just sleeps. So
what kind of breed?
He's a Boston Terrier.
He's Boston, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Are we transitioning over to a conversation that we need to start to have regarding the Boston Terrier?
Oh, right on. That's awesome. Yeah, we've got 3.
No doubt.
Yeah. I'm on my third. I don't have 3. We got a Boston and a Pity in the house, but my Boston's got to be 12 or 13 now. So she's got.
Is there really something very distinguishable about the fart from this Boston Terrier?
Oh, it's horrible. They're loud. You smell them.
Oh boy,
brutal. Wow. I find that they're mostly silent and deadly. My personal experience with my Boston, but they're pretty bad.
Yeah, they're.
I was gonna say along the lines of the motorcycles, you talk about it is a relationship with the motorcycle as well, because there's so many different bikes for so many different experiences and what it is you're gonna do. You talk about your daily rider, and it's like that. The same thing happened to me where I started riding Hondas, and then it's like, oh bro, you got to get a Harley, man. I got a Harley, and a little more power. I was taking bigger trips, and then but some of the trips that I took, when the more people that I met that really had this love for motorcycling, I just kept seeing so many different kinds of motorcycles, and then I fell for Triumphs, and I would call my daily rider, or not really right now. My commuter bike is a new Bonneville. It's a 2019
nice
T120, and it's just a great. It's actually a really powerful bike, and it's so light compared to getting on. I have a 06 Street Bob, and it's just a pig in comparison. And I get on this Triumph, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I could just throw it around, and it's a completely different experience. But
it's like the Royal Enfield. It's a single cylinder, I think 411 cc's, but it's a goat. Like throw it around, it's light, it'll go anywhere.
I had when the last helmet show we did a small bike show, and a friend of ours showed up, her and her husband in an Enfield with a sidecar.
Yeah.
And he had just gotten, and I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Then I'm online looking at I would have
I actually just got I came across a thing, and I sent in for it, and I got the first email. There's this group from Australia called The Adventurous. I'm not super familiar with them a little bit, but they're coming to the United States, and they're doing a cross-country U.S. ride on bikes. So they're looking for people to ride, and they're going to break it up into different legs on those little Honda monkey bikes.
Wow, man, those are nuts, man. I've seen those things. They're wacky.
So I'm like, that might be the next thing I pick up to do this ride.
That's great.
My garage is packed. Like, I think I don't really have a choice anymore. There's no room to actually fit anything else in there. I think Tracy would probably be like, I literally had a bike in the garage without telling her, and then I was at work one day, and I got a photograph of my daughter sitting on the bike.
Jim, was this the chopper?
Yeah, and she was like, "Whose is this?" And I was like, can I tell you tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
I sold one bike last summer. I think and then I got the Royal Enfield. But I think between my wife and I, we're up to 8. And man. I'm trying to thin the herd. Actually, the bike I sold was this rad 72 Honda CB450 CL Scrambler pipes. I mean, it was a 100% one kick bike.
Yeah.
It literally sat for 2 years, and I rolled it out, and I was gonna roll it to the other garage, and I'm like, let me see, and boom, kick, fired right up.
Wow. Oh shit, man.
So yeah, I'm kind of kicking myself a little bit on that one.
Hey, maybe it'll come around again, like the other one.
You never know. I have I got a 69 Honda CB450. It's kind of like a little cafe racer.
Yeah.
That this dude did up, and it's really beautiful. I brought it to Brooklyn to a show, and it ended up in a book. It's actually just a sexy little bike.
It is.
It's too small for me, but I'll jump on it, and I keep the fluids going and cruise on it. It's just such a beautiful bike. Like I made friends with this dude, and he had 15 projects going on. He's like, I gotta fucking get rid of some shit, and I was like, what's that? He's like, I'm selling it, and I was like, I think Tracy I think she had actually gone away did she go to Toronto or Montreal or something for 2 or 3 days, and I was like, I got to look at this bike, and I knew I was going to get it, and same thing, it ended up in the garage, and I was like, it's really pretty. Do you want to see it? It's just like, seriously. When you're talking about the Nepal ride, you're talking about Michael Lichter and Rouser, and I'll tell you a quick story about Rouser. I did the El Diablo run in 2008.
All right, yeah.
And we were coming back. That's when I met Rouser, and we were coming back into the States, and it was probably about 8 of us. Bill was bringing us back to Biltwell to get the bikes that were from the East Coast on the trailer. I stayed with my buddy Keith, who lives in California, so we're headed back to Biltwell. We're following Bill, and we get to the Tijuana border, and which is nuts in itself. And then we get up there, and I was behind Rouser, and we're getting up to the across the border, and he was such a great dude. He's like stopping some cars, and he's like, go ahead. And I saw, I get up, and Bill goes through, the next guy go through, and we pull off on the state side, and Rouser's the last guy to come through, and we're waiting, and he's coming, and he's in the States, and he gets clipped.
Oh,
he gets hit, and we're just like, it's completely surreal. We start running towards him, and we're just like what the fuck? So yeah, he got right over the border, man, and got clipped.
Wow.
And he goes down, he got dragged a little bit, and we're just like, what the fuck? We get over there, and he's like, he got banged up a bit. He's cracking up. He's like, what the fuck?
Oh my God.
And then he was, he's hurt a little bit, so he kind of sits down. He's like a little out of it, and he's like, could you take a picture of my bike, man? I was like, yeah. Take a picture of him and take a picture of his bike, and then we hung with them, and someone came to get the bike and brought it back to Biltwell, and then he left in an ambulance, and I haven't seen Rouser since then.
Oh
wow, that's a crazy story.
Yeah, it was
that dude. He's an awesome guy to talk to, because he's one of a kind, that he just lives his life like how he wants to live it. I think now he's living in Panama, and he works at Biltwell, and he lives in Panama because it's got good surf.
Wow.
He was in Costa Rica before that, but Costa Rica got too expensive, so he left for Panama.
Oh, wow. No, he's good people, man.
But for Nepal, it was me and the Biltwell guys were generally the guys at the back of the pack.
Yeah.
Because there were some like world-class riders, and we were taking it, slower and steady.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Rouser, and that dude he's a rider. He goes, but man, he was super helpful and like would throw tips to you, and he's a good dude.
Very cool.
He's solid, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome. It's nice to hear those names come up in conversation, because it brings back a lot of good memories of motorcycling and stuff, and being, locked down and quarantined, et cetera. It's just like it's such a bummer, and this is one of the reasons why we decided to do this stuff. So
that's right.
That was like I think this summer I want to get my wife out on a big trip, and we were starting to plan a ride across Europe to some of the people we've known over there. We rode in Switzerland when we were over there for the bike show. That was like kind of one of the big parts of going, was the last day. It was sponsored by Harley.
Oh wow.
They gave you a bike and you rode out through the Alps from Basel out to Luzerne, which was unbelievably beautiful.
Yeah, it's beautiful out there.
But then everything went bad. So I'm hoping maybe next summer we can do it.
Yeah.
And then I want to do, I talked to Bear, and he said that the Mongolia trip is a lighter ride. So I'm hoping to get her over there.
I definitely have to get a hold of Bear and talk to him about, because I had the Nepal trip scheduled for November. I just don't know where it stands. So
yeah,
we'll see.
You're better to wait. Like, I think the experience will be better once things.
Yeah, I don't want to feel that stress of it being too close to still being in the shit, so to speak. It's like, I'd rather have that a little behind us.
Get a cushion on it.
Chris's wife sounds pretty awesome. Tell us more about her.
She is.
This is a very familiar name. Wait a second here.
Hey, wait a minute.
Honestly, Tracy had nothing but really great things to say about you guys. And she said, and she encouraged you. So you should talk to Devil Chicken. Talk to Devil Chicken. That's a really good idea. So thank you, Tracy, and thank you, Joanne, for letting Chris spend some time with us. So she's
been bringing me beers and water up all night.
Thank you very much.
And I saw I saw your dog, and I was like, seriously, does he have this dog bringing beers? That's so crazy. I can't. What's going on over there?
I want a dog like that.
Joanne, thank you so much. That's awesome. You have Corey saw or read a quote that you had somewhere in.
Yeah, I did. I like doing research, so I kind of, find some things, little nuggets.
Yeah. Corey and I have been friends since we were kids. We were probably 8 years old, 3rd grade. So it's 40 plus years, 45. I don't even know how long it's been.
Well, we are going to be 50 this year.
Yeah. Wow.
And we have 42. a good balance of he's got the numbers crunching mind, and you know, I'm the artist mind, whatever you want to say. But so you do that, you research and stuff and look at stuff. But you're talking about a quote you wanted to bring up that I think Chris admires or had likes or whatever.
No, it was something part of the research.
Part of the research.
I actually think I took a picture of it, so I have it on my phone. Give me 1 second.
You're nervous.
No, because you know what? This ties back to something near and dear to me,
Chris Galley,
which is music.
Yeah.
Right? So there's a quote, and I'll read it. No such thing as spare time. No such thing as free time. No such thing as downtime. All you got is lifetime.
Whoa.
Who is that?
It's the man Rollins, Henry Rollins.
Henry Rollins.
Yeah.
So tell us about that.
Yeah. I've been a big follower of Henry Rollins, I guess, personal philosophy on life since I was a kid. Like my childhood home life was pretty unstable. Like I said, we moved a lot. Things were often pretty crazy at home. So kind of that Rollins mentality. I kind of look at him as like, he's almost like a modern day samurai. Like this guy is just so driven and everything about that goal and is so pure. I have a lot of respect for that and what he's been able to accomplish in his life. From music to writing to performing. So I read all his books when I was a kid. And yeah, he's still inspirational to me. I actually just the other night watched one of his spoken word performances.
Oh yeah.
That of course started a YouTube loop. Like I saw him, I think from early 2000s doing Ramones covers with like the living members of the Ramones. And just seeing him with the mic cord wrapped around his hand, you know, like Black Flag and Rollins band, like it just gives you chills. You're like, oh, I want to go back in time to just, you know, those days of the Rollins band. It's just he's good. Just
Black Flag.
The fact that he's still going and his outlook on life as far as like travel and cultural and experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you had a chance to see any spoken word, Rollins spoken word?
I haven't. Well, I've had chances and I didn't go. My last experience was seeing the Rollins band.
Yeah.
And it was so awesome. I almost like I'm holding on to that like so tight.
Yeah. If you can do it and if it happens and if he's still doing it, I would definitely encourage it. Like I saw Rollins band a bunch of times and then I saw a spoken word, and it was a short period of time. It could have been a year or two where he would come pretty locally.
Yeah, he did. He came a lot of local shows.
And I just kept seeing him. And I actually tattooed a portrait of Rollins on my buddy Steve. And it was that classic mic wrapped around. And
Yeah.
So we hung out after a show one night and we showed him the tattoo. Said, hey man, like he's like, oh wow, I'm so honored, you know. And my buddy was like, can you sign my leg, dude? So we left the show and we went straight to the tattoo shop. I tattooed over the signature. So it was pretty rad. But yeah, I definitely dig the philosophy and stuff as well. Spoken word is amazing. Like if it comes a time again to see him, definitely go see him.
Yeah.
But that quote that Corey's saying is it's pretty. It seems, I mean, you have a lot of stuff going on. It seems like you're seizing the moments to be creative and to do your artwork and just keep it going.
And I think a lot of it was kind of doing this, like doing motorcycle shows in a weird way, kind of push that. You know, as an artist, when you're coming up and you're learning the ropes, you kind of think like, you know, almost like I'm going to get discovered somewhere. Or like if my work's good enough, someone's going to come along and find it. Yeah. And that just doesn't happen. And it's kind of that thing of you've got to go out and you've got to make your own audience. You've got to go to your audience. You've got to get there. So that Rollins quote is really something I try to live by and push and be productive, to just kind of keep grinding, keep going, keep putting it out. It's not necessarily for anything other than to do it, to be able to have the experiences now. At this point in my life, I don't care if, fame isn't the thing or anything like that. It'd be nice to have something that lasts beyond me, as far as work, but it's how much experience can I get in the lifetime that I've got left.
Right.
And for me, it's been artwork that's been the catalyst to make that happen, which is more than I could have ever hoped for out of art.
Nice.
Yeah. Cheers to that,
fantastic, man. Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's like you were just saying, but the part of what the Crush, Kill, Destroy is about is that striving, do what you do it damn good, applying that same sort of philosophy.
That's
and that's, the idea when I read that quote and I think about it, the whole idea of the tying in with the last part of that quote, lifetime, because the two things are like interchangeable, right? Because time is that one resource that you just don't get back.
Yeah.
You could always get money. You could always get other things, but time just goes. So time, it is life. I mean, that's what it is. So to maximize it, and plow through, like, we've had a lot of folks that we've had on, entrepreneurs like Jimmy, like, folks like yourself that are driving your art. I mean, it's just getting in it, living it, loving it.
Make the most of it, man. Like,
that's it.
It's
fantastic.
It's limited. I've gotten more than what I thought I would have.
Yeah, man. I mean, behind you, just looking at those pictures and paintings behind you, it's beautiful. It's unbelievable. Oh, you're welcome. No, it's awesome.
And I think that's the big part about the connection that we can have on this level. You can be inspired by someone that may be considered famous or is famous or whatever.
Sure.
But to have these real life experiences like yourself going to Nepal and connecting with other whatever it's through art and motorcycling and stuff is really the real deal. I mean, I personally feel inspired by what it is you do, which was one drive to get you on the show and just chat for a little bit. And I definitely appreciate that stuff as well. So I think it's huge,
cheers to that.
Right on.
So it is, there's a lot of things relatable to the idea of Crush, Kill, Destroy. And Corey and I talk about this all the time where I've been tattooing for probably 27, 28 years. And I'm definitely slowing down and I'm feeling some aches and pains and my hands are sore, my eyes are going a little bit. So I have there's stuff that's always been there along the way that I've always been drawn to, motorcycling being one of them, other types of art and music and stuff like that. And then coming up, kind of having the idea of the t-shirt line and stuff like that. It's not necessarily the motivation isn't to, like you said, you want to make a living or be famous or something like that. It's really the connect and the message of just doing something and putting both feet in and encouraging other people to do the same thing, which is another reason why we do the show. So I appreciate you being here, man.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for having me. I totally appreciate this, and it is that connection. I think you can come at it. We started kind of talking about that visual art. It's just anybody that's got that drive, whether you're a bike builder, a mathematician, and run a hair salon, you've got that grind and you've got that push, and you're doing what you can to support your dream.
That's exactly what it's about.
It really is, and that's where we try to reach out to people to connect exactly in that sentiment, because it doesn't matter what it is you're doing. It's just that you take enough pride in it to do the best that you can at it.
That's exactly it.
It's a long-term thing, that's fine. But in the meantime, you should probably, put your all into it. And there's people that, it's not life-changing or whatever, but they're doing stuff that they do take a lot of pride in. They do. I mean, my buddy Joe, I think Joe said, if you're a fucking garbage man,
Mm-hmm.
You know, do a fucking good job at it, man.
Exactly.
That's
no,
for
he
sure.
did say that. He did. That's
He did
exactly
say
right.
that, you know, and it's not necessarily about like, oh man, I got to pick up some garbage. There's an energy behind that stuff that makes you put your heart into everything that you do, which extends into the connections that you make, which is what we fucking need more of in this world. God damn it.
Yeah, let's do it.
But Chris, I definitely appreciate your time. I want to make sure people know how to connect with you. So easiest thing, like we mentioned before, is Instagram.
Right on.
We know the origin of the name, which is fantastic.
The origin of the name. And I know you
I
have
feel like I'm losing followers after that story.
Yeah.
No. That just adds to it. It's great.
devilchickendesign.com. And they could probably find you by your name on Facebook if they chose to. Yeah.
Yep. Both of them are on there, Devil Chicken and Chris Galley.
That's awesome.
I'm more like the Devil Chicken guy than Chris. Oh, you're that Devil Chicken guy.
Yeah, Devil Chicken.
The Devil Chicken
guy. The last tattoo I got, my buddy Rob, I did a trade with. He's an amazing tattoo artist. And I made a big painting for him. And I was like, I'm giving you my left arm. I'm like, all I want is your artwork. I'm like, you come up with it. Don't even tell me what it is. So he's been working on this over the last year. And I have a devil chicken in my armpit now.
Oh, come on. Oh, wow. I can't wait to see it.
Devil chicken for life.
So we do, I always give shit away at the end of the night, and I always do a trivia. So, it'd be great. It's pretty quick, and I think you might appreciate these things. They're so wacky.
It's pretty cool.
There's only like 6 or so questions, and hang out with us. And,
we're keeping you up. We know. We know, but we're almost there.
Old guy. Wait, Sunday tomorrow. You don't have anything to do tomorrow, do you? Come on.
Oh, sweet.
I went. Right. I broke.
We got at least another hour to chat.
Yeah, keep rolling.
We're gonna do some for all these guys that hung out with us this long. Corey and I started doing this. We would do about an hour and stuff, and then we just the more we drank, it got longer, and the more people were engaged, we're like, fuck it.
Yep.
And it's Saturday night, so whatever. But we're gonna do some trivia and give away some swag. So. Destroy trivia. Christine's ready. I probably owe her I just should give her all the stuff I have printed and ready to go, all my swag, because she's really good at this stuff.
Yeah.
But I think that this one's going to be a little tougher, and
it's very creative of you. I must say.
We encourage people to use Google. We don't care. You can if you call it cheating, we don't care what you call it, but because some stuff is, and this is actually really bizarre, and there's a lot of stuff that was really bizarre for me.
It's really cool though.
Yeah, so Google it. So what I did, I've got 6 questions. So what we're gonna do is I'm looking for horror movies that involved motorcycles or motorcyclists.
All right.
So we have, get ready. These are really bizarre.
They are.
I'm gonna go back and I need to watch some of these things. So number 1, Google this, guys. First, I'll put up the info, and then we'll put a picture up.
Okay.
So this is a British biker horror movie deals with a gang of bikers, the Living Dead. Good one. I think that's the gang, who somehow discover the secret to dying and come back as the undead. And I have a movie. I was finding some movie posters. This is actually pretty rad, and I could tell you guys.
I knew it was that one. Yeah.
Oh, you did?
That's a rad movie.
Oh, you saw this one?
Yeah.
Oh shit. So I could say, even if these guys don't know, I believe this is from 1971.
Wow. Our birth year.
Yes, it is.
That's amazing.
So you have if you guys, all you really need to do is copy this British biker horror movie deals with a gang of bikers limited who somehow discover their secret to dying and coming back as the undead. Google it, put it in your phone, put it in your whatever, and you're gonna get the answer.
It's an open book test.
Oh,
You know-
wait a minute. Pam. Does Pam have it? I think Pam has it.
Pam.
Yeah.
Okay, so Pam. Yay, Pam.
Pam, how are you?
Psychomania. And I think there was I think
Mike, you were right there. You were just behind.
I think they released it in the States as Mike was right behind it. In the States as another name. Oh, was it 1973? Okay. All right, okay.
Eric, get hey, Clockwork Orange. Okay, I don't think there are any motorcycles in it, but good call on the whole, because that was 71.
It was okay.
Yeah.
All right, number 2. This is another. All right, number 2. Gang of bikers, the devil's advocates, get cursed by a group of Satanists just because they won't let them sacrifice one of their girlfriends to Satan.
Damn it!
Let me find the thing here. So we got the. This is awesome. Chris, check out the artwork, man.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, look at that artwork.
This is I thought it was 71 as well, but I could be wrong. The gang thought it was tough till it found a new type of hell, the bride of Satan. Like, dude,
that's just crazy.
If you need a clue, just look at the dude on the bike.
Yeah.
And that should tip you off a little bit. Do you know this movie, Chris?
I know that poster.
Oh wow.
Oh wow. Yeah, I did
not know it. I was like, whoa, this is crazy. I was looking stuff up and I was cracking up, and Tracy's like, are you laughing loud because you want me to ask you what it is you're doing? I'm like, no, it's really funny. And then I was like, let me tell you what I found. Gang of bikers, the devil gets cursed by a group of Satanists just because they won't let them sacrifice.
I bet you if you put in just that tagline at the end, the bride of Satan would pop up. Oh, Michael.
Look at that. Mike, get out of here.
Michael. Bravo, buddy.
Excellent name for a movie.
I actually did a custom helmet for Werewolves on Wheels, and there was a werewolf on a chopper.
Come on.
It's got that letter on it. And then my wife made a liner for it that had like really long gray werewolf fur.
Dude, I saw that.
Dude, yeah.
That's awesome. I saw that. All right, number 3. Here we go. Sometimes known as Welcome to Spring Break, this movie combines plenty of killing, oiled up bikini babes. One biker may actually have risen from the dead after being executed. Let me find. There's our movie poster. I had to cut the titles out, obviously.
Yeah. Look at that.
You got me on this one.
Let me get rid of this text because the bottom is actually really cool.
Oh.
There's all the oiled up babes.
Yeah, it's like, I got some people running into the sunset or something going on there.
And this one is actually the year we graduated, Corey.
Oh yes, look at that.
1989.
1989.
Christine. Woo!
Hey. There you go. Nightmare Beach. Amazing.
No way she wasn't going to Joanne guessed it. It was that was in my info though. And Mike came after. Okay, so Christine got that one.
Yeah.
Okay, so all right, I don't know what number we're on here.
4.
Number 4. Okay.
Number 4.
I need to get rid of this guy. Number 4.
This is an interesting one.
An all-female biker gang called the Cycle Sluts end up in a little town where a mad scientist has been creating zombies in order to use in a mine to radioactive.
This is just wild. I mean, I never heard of it.
1991. Oh, you'll love this, Core. Billy Bob Thornton. Look at
that. My God.
Crazy, right?
That's insane.
Look at him. Look how young he is.
Christine says she saw this one.
Oh. This was the prequel to Sling Blade, wasn't it?
He's like, more.
Wow. I mean, wow. That's something else, man.
I likes my motorcycles early.
We had another actor in a younger state in one of these trivia things that you called out a while back. I can't remember who it was. Do you remember though? You remember there was another guy. We were like, oh my god, I can't believe that was him.
Leslie Nielsen in old sci-fi films.
That's it. That's what it was. Yep.
I likes my motorcycles fast.
Michael,
it's on fire. Woo, 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 woo.
And Fuego. It's the 20-mile bike ride, man. That's what did it.
I think that one wins for title. That's an impressive title.
I know. It's just, yeah. It's amazing.
Okay, let's see. Number 5. Is this the one? I love this one.
The
Chris,
bike's
I think you like this one. Another movie that delivers exactly what the title promises: a Norton Commando with a taste for blood. I don't know if they're lying about the bike in this, but look at this picture. This is amazing.
What do we got? Oh my god. It's literally a killer bike. There are spikes coming from the tank in the seat too, it looks like.
I watched.
It does look like a Norton, no, I think, right?
It's hard to tell.
It's hard to tell.
I don't know. It looks a little big, but I watched the trailer for this. I'm gonna watch the whole thing.
Yeah. Look at over handlebars.
Yeah.
What's really wild is that actually people put budgets and stuff together for these things and actually create them. I mean, it's a B movie, obviously, but
there's a scene in the trailer actually where the bike is riding itself and it's following another guy on a bike and it shoots something. Come on, in the back, it just comes out of the bike and it's like yeah.
Wow,
it's pretty fucked up.
It's where Stephen King got the idea for Christine.
And actually, that was some of the stuff online that related it. It says it's basically the Christine of motorcycles.
There you go.
And when you
hear that's a good point.
When you hear the title of this one, there wasn't a lot of effort into it. It's like, oh, okay, you could probably guess it if you just said a bunch of shit.
Oh, look at Michael. He's
killing it. All right. No, it's not.
Christine.
Mike got it again. So
Mike is just. I mean, he's white hot now. It's not even like in Fuego or anything. It's the white hot where it's just
1990. I bought a vampire motorcycle. That's
1990.
I think.
Amazing.
I probably bought a vampire motorcycle.
Yes.
It was.
You should make one.
I would at least definitely go look at that bike. So
the trailer, I think the trailer said most motorcycles run on gasoline, but this one runs on blood. you really got to look it up. It's awesome.
I'm going to check it out, man. I'm going to watch it.
Yeah, here's our last one. This
was
a newer film. I think it's 2010.
Yeah, I never heard of it either.
Yeah, I feel like I heard of it. This movie follows a gang of bikers to a cabin in the woods where they're ready to get wild and party. Of course they are. Only to have one of their girls become possessed. I mean, I feel like I've been on a bunch of weekends. Like almost every motorcycle weekend I do is the same thing. Possessed by something.
Pretty much the gypsy run, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Walter would probably agree with that.
Yeah.
So this is a 2010 movie. This is the only thing I could find that didn't have a title spewed across it. I have no idea who's in this movie.
Yeah, I've never. Yeah,
Google that stuff. Yeah, Mike's blowing me away this evening. I know he's.
Like I said, it's just
Mike wants beer.
Ooh, retro boss beer.
Oh yeah. But
She Devils on Wheels. No.
She Devils. That I think I don't know about that.
No,
might have been is that in like
Eric gives up. Don't give up, Eric. Please don't.
She Devil on Wheels. That's probably some weird porno, but
that's a new King Sexy song. Come on, Jeff, write it up, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, this one
Little King Sexy.
I actually feel like I heard about this movie, but
I never have. I gotta say, and I'm a movie guy, and it's so recent. I've never heard of it.
Mike said Easy Wheels. It's not. I like that name, but it's not Easy Wheels. It sounds like another porno actually. But
Yeah.
I can't Google it. My wife has the laptop. Damn it, Eric, you're shit out of luck tonight.
Damn, nabbit. Wow, there's like no glaring like real catchphrase in this thing, but I think if you string a few things together, it's going to come up on something if you can get your hands on some kind of.
And it's actually the newer movie that I picked out of all these things, so these guys should be able to find it.
Yeah, the Google's usually pretty quick.
Yeah. I'm gonna go back and watch. I'm definitely gonna watch. I bought a vampire motorcycle and actually Werewolves on Wheels because I just love that. I love that poster. I think it's pretty wicked. Pretty wicked art.
Oh,
Mike guy. All right,
unbelievable. I can't even right now. This guy. Look at him.
The violent kind. Did you ever hear that, Chris?
That one got by me.
Yeah. No. Right in 2010 too. So not that long.
2010. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the thing about it.
H.G. Lewis movie. He said.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Devil's Angels. Yeah. Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Very cool.
Yeah, dude, thank you so much for sticking around for that.
Oh, yeah, it was great to meet you, Chris.
Hang out with us.
Likewise. It's a great time, guys. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I look forward to hopefully getting together live one day. We get to one of these events and check out your art in person. It'd be great.
Yeah, that is absolutely the goal, to reconnect with people in the real life. And hopefully it comes sooner than later.
Yeah.
But, yeah, keep making awesome art, dude, and hopefully we'll cross paths soon.
Sounds good. I'm sure we will. And if you're ever in sunny Buffalo, swing by.
We'll hit the Anchor Bar.
Oh shit! Tracy and I.
Oh, and a taco. I think there's a taco I read about.
So we definitely want
good places. I got a list for you.
Nice.
Oh, nice. Yeah, we do want to trek around. Tracy and I bought a Chinook, an old camper.
Nice.
Van, and that's kind of like everything. A lot of people did the same thing, but that's kind of propelling us to be like, we're gonna get out.
Yeah.
When we can. So maybe we'll do that.
You're welcome. Cool. We got 2 acres here, plenty of space.
Wow. Yeah. Sweet. Awesome.
Thank you guys. Thank you everybody for joining us tonight.
Thanks everybody. Appreciate you.
As always, Crush Kill the Story. Chris, have a great night.
Get some rest. Thanks again.
And
cheers.
We'll catch you soon. Cheers. Thank you.